How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In tonight's video, I want to get into some tips and tricks about what I do to make my Autoworld slot cars run a little better. I know a lot of people don't like these. A lot of negativity out there about Autoworld. Personally, yeah, not the best, but the most accessible for a lot of people, you know, just getting into the hobby. So figured I'd cover what I do to make them run a little better, make them more enjoyable, and pick up on the lap times a little bit. So let's get this thing out of the package, get it on the track, and get a baseline number, how it is, bone stock. All right, so I got the lap tracker app set up here on my tablet, and I'm just gonna do a 3-lap baseline number run for the bone stock car, just so we have something to compare to. So let's start this up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so there you got that. Best lap 8.24, average lap 8.72, and yeah, best lap was lap 3, so already picking up a little time. But yeah, let's get this car on the bench and make some mods. All right, so the first thing to make note of when working on these Autoworld cars is there's a lot of slop in that rear axle. And there's not really much you can do with that unless you have a lot of the tools to work on the T-jets, you know, wheel pullers, peeners, stuff like that. So I'm not going to address that in this video. That's more advanced stuff. But other than that, I mean, the top plate also has a lot of play. We can get the body off here. Take the back screw a little looser. It's really tight on there. All right, I'll set the body off to the side for now. So obviously you got your guide pin. That's a problem spot for these Autoworlds. The newer ones come with them metal screw-on ones. I'm not a fan of those either. They're just too big and bulky. That's that style there. And they tend to drag the track, at least my track. I got a lot of elevation changes on my track, so not a fan of those at all. But yeah, so first step, take the body off. So you can see here all this grease. That's going to be our first step, getting all that grease scrubbed out of there and freeing up those gears a little bit. That's a lot of resistance there. But take the motor plate off, top plate, whatever you want to call it, gear plate. Take the clip off. Slowly pull this out. Make sure you don't lose your brushes. Sometimes they're stuck to the armature. And it's another Autoworld signature. Loose holes. Yeah, so you see your brushes in there, your magnets. Magnets get a lot of play. These are actually pretty good. Dump those brushes out. It's my bare chassis. So, like I said, first thing I'm gonna do, get some denatured alcohol. I just keep a little bit in this parts container that I got left over from something. Cheap paintbrushes from anywhere. Just a, dollar store paintbrush, anything, any kind of brush. And I'll just get in there and go to town on this grease. Seen the idler gear pop out there, that's fine. Gotta get that out of there anyway. Get all this sludge. That's what it is, essentially, sludge. They like to pack it in there pretty good. And I'll take my see, all that grease is gone. Now we can get some good quality oil on there and make them run a lot better. I wouldn't say better, but a lot freer. I'm gonna set that off to the side for right now. And my next step is to just take the brushes and some 2000 grit sandpaper. Just give it a little. It's kind of hard because they're so small, but you don't need much. Just kind of give them a little polish. So that's that. Set those off to the side. Now, like I said earlier, the magnets sometimes are real loose. You can actually shim those with a little bit of electrical tape, but these are actually pretty good. So we're gonna leave those be just how they are. Another thing, these tires, garbage, or I should say, as good as garbage. Maybe I can make a tire wall out of them. I also want to get all the, trying to tiptoe around my tripod here, but still trying to figure out decent camera angles for these videos. Yep. Get all that grease off there. We'll set that off to the side. Got a little bit of grease on there. And your motor clip, top plate clip, whatever you want to call it. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's just a little bit of like a circle on there. And that's just you can just catch it with a fingernail almost. So that's also just resistance. So I like to take my little Scotch-Brite wheel here on my cordless rotary tool and just ever so slightly that'll smooth out. You look, and I think what that also does is kind of smooth these edges out, make the gears run a little, the idler gear run a little smoother along these edges. I used to take the, before I got the rotary tool, I'd take the sandpaper and just get in there and work it back and forth. But that rotary tool's been a lifesaver, game changer. So let's try and see if we can get the car back together. Okay, we're back here. I had to change that camera angle. My big hands were just bumping the tripod and just getting in the way. This just feels a little better here. But yeah, back to putting the car together. Let's put the brushes back in. Just set them in there like so. Ooh, rolling around on me. And I wish I had a pair of plastic tweezers, magnets like to pull them over. But another thing you want to do is kind of check the brushes, make sure they go up and down nice and smooth. Sometimes the holes are a little off and they can get stuck down and the car won't run, or it'll run slow because you won't have enough brush tension. But yeah, we'll set the motor plate back in here. Should be nice and easy with it. What I like to do is put one finger here and one finger here and lower the motor plate down, because when you get it close, it wants to suck the chassis up because of the magnets. But yeah. So I know some people oil the motor plate before. I like to get it in place and just get a little oil up under the rear gear there, both top and bottom. Spin it a couple times, get it working in. Same thing right under your arm gear. Spin that. I'm not a big fan of oiling under the motor plate, between the arm and the motor plate, because I don't like getting oil down in that motor cavity there, slinging it all around. I feel like the oil around this gear here will work its way down that hole and give you enough oil. I never seem to have any issues with cars running dry, so put a little oil there. I'm overdoing this a bit just so you can really see the oil in the video, but it'll work its way out. And then you just dab it. That's what I do. And put your clip back on. Make sure nothing's binding up. And that seems pretty good. A little axle holes. Give her some spins on this side. Give her some spins. That side and that side. And give her some spins. Let gravity do its work. Shoe tension feels pretty good. There's not much you can do there. And I got a pair of nice 390 silicone tires to go on there. Give us a little more grip. You can kind of tell from our test run, we're a little toe heavy. See, we'll get a little more wear even across, but I can give them just a little bend. Just the slightest bend. Yeah. Use this spare piece of track there. You can see it on camera. It looks like we got better contact there on the heel, so we'll roll with that. Now, the body pins have always been an issue. I did notice before Autoworld came out with the metal ones, see that little gusset? I have a couple cars that have that, so I think that might have been their initial problem fixer, and then they just came out with the metal ones. I haven't had any of these gusseted ones break, but I do have a stock of dash guide pins. Just so when they do break, I can throw a dash one in there. And I guess you could just put a dash one in now, but look at it this way. If it ain't broke, why mess with it? That body pin backwards there. Tighten this up. Back it off just a touch. Just a little bit of body float. The last thing I do is just a drop of oil right there. Couple quick turns and dab it right off. Don't want too much of that oil getting on the brushes. So there she is. Let's get her back on the track and get some times and see if we improve the car at all.
5.
All right, here we go. 3 laps.
2, 1.
What kind of improvement we can get here. Wow, broke into the 7s. Twice. Look at that. So I'll put a side-by-side comparison there. The lap time's quick. Well, there you have it, people. I mean, just a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, and you know, you pick up over a half a second a lap from like an 8.24 best lap stock to a 7.61 for pretty much nothing but some time and a $2 pair of tires. So definitely makes it worth it. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff you can do. You can dig way deeper into these cars, but then at that point you're probably into other stuff. You know, you're getting into whiz jets and dash and TFX and all that. This is more just, you know, dad and a son just having fun at home, making the cars run a little better. Hopefully that helps some people. You know, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, because that definitely helps. Trying to figure out this YouTube algorithm, you know, for the life of me. I don't understand it, but you know, it's all in good fun. I don't really care about views and stuff, but the more people we can reach, the more people we can help. So I'm not going to be a millionaire off of YouTube for sure. But yeah, till the next time, take it easy.